Hello, hello, good morning, good morning. We are in our daily devotion in Revelation chapter 17 in the NIV and the New King James. Let's go ahead and pray before we read. Lord God, thank you again for today. I thank you that we have life today. I'm awake, alive, I'm healthy. I don't feel sick or anything. I feel good. So thank you then for just letting us all be awake and alive at the moment right now. God, I just pray that you would be glorified and you will be the focus of our time right now. We would still ourselves and just really focus on what your word has to say in this book of Revelation, and just knowing that you have a warning for us because you love us that much. Just let us know what's going to happen. I just pray, God, that you would also just lift up those who don't know you just yet, God. There's so many people that I know that are struggling with well, maybe not struggling, but they're struggling. They don't even know it. They're going through problems and they're going through issues that they probably shouldn't have to if they were following you, God, if they were not in sin habitually. I just pray, God, for those that pray that they would have their eyes open, their hearts open to you, that they would know that you love them and you have a plan for them that's better than anything they can ever plan for themselves. Pray that they would just acknowledge you, that you are God, and that you died for them on the cross, that you have a plan. I just pray that they would come to see you. I want to lift up those that do know you and that are struggling still, that are having issues with family, marriage, divorce, or having health issues, or having financial issues. That they again, you have still a plan for them as well. You have a plan for every single person on this earth. You've already got it figured out. I just pray that they would lean on you, God, that they would know that you love them and that you have you have direction for them, and that they would just submit to you. They would cast their cares onto you, that they would be there. They would rely solely on you, so that they can enjoy the fruit that you have for them. And I also want to thank you again, God, for all that you've done in my life recently, for the people you put in my life, the experiences, and just everything that you've allowed me to do, and you're working on me, and I know that you are. So thank you for that. You're not done with me yet. So thank you again, Jesus. I pray these things in your precious name. Amen. Okay, Revelation 17, NIV says, "One of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came to me and said, 'Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters. With her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries.' And the angel carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with the blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was a mystery: Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of God's holy people, the blood of those who bore testimony to Jesus. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, 'Why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet I will come up out of the abyss and go to his destruction. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen. 1 is, the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over the beast their royal authority. Until God's words are fulfilled, the woman you saw is the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. Okay, let's go into New King James. So Revelation 17 in the New King James. Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot, who sits on many waters, with whom the kings of the earth committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, which was full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. And on her forehead a name was written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth. I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I marveled with great amazement. But the angel said to me, why did you marvel? I tell you the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that you saw was and is not, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that was and is not and yet is. Here is the mind which has wisdom. 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has not yet come. And when he comes, he must continue a short time. The beast that was and is not is himself also the 8th, and is the 7, and is of the 7, and is going to perdition. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. These are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. Then he said to me, the waters which you saw where the harlot sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these will hate the harlot, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose, to the one mind, and to give their kingdom to the beast, until the words of God are fulfilled. And the woman whom you saw is that great city which reigns over kings of the earth. Okay, so this made me think that some of this is metaphorical or it's literal. So now that's the idea that I just got to remember now. Now, is this literally all that stuff is happening, or is this all metaphorical? I guess it's both, right? Someone said it's both and. It's both it's both literal and figurative, and it's both and literal and figurative. It's both literal and it's figurative. I don't know, but let's go read it again. It says, one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came to me and said, "Come, talk to John. I will show you the prostitute of the great the punishment of the great prostitute. This is her punishment, who sits by many waters. With her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with their wine of her adulteries. Now, this is kind of crazy to think that the kings, multiple kings, could have committed adultery with the same woman. Now, it is possible that this woman is not really a woman at all. So this could be figurative, not literal, because can imagine that a king that commits adultery with a woman would maybe not let her leave, or he would have her captive somewhere, or just he would keep track of her pretty well. Or it is possible that this woman came into these kingdoms somehow, committed adultery with the king, and then left and went to other kingdoms and just continued to go throughout all these kingdoms. I think that's less likely, but it's still possible, depending on the year or what's happening or what exactly this is talking about. Because, I don't know. It's interesting, but that's how it reads. It's the kings committed adultery with this woman. Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. So this woman, she's sitting on a beast. So maybe like a scarlet beast. Something like riding a horse maybe, or she's riding some sort of... I imagine the beast is larger, more like a turtle size, but big. Or like a lion or something. Covered with blasphemous names. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was a mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes. So she had a golden cup in her hand, for wine possibly, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. So, that could be all kinds of stuff in there. That sounds gross. But it says on her forehead was a name was written. It says Mystery Babylon the Great. The new NIV reads it as a mystery Babylon the Great. So to me it makes more sense that it's written as Mystery Babylon the Gate, the mother of harlots. Maybe her name is Mystery. It says it's a name. The mother of harlots and of the abominations of the earth. What a name to have. I don't know if she knew that was a name written on there, on her forehead. Maybe not. Most people don't write things on their forehead that they want people to see, I guess. I don't know. I saw that the woman was drunk with the blood of God's holy people, the blood of those who bore testimony to Jesus. So that makes sense. She's drunk and she has this name written on her forehead. Maybe that's it. So she's not even really aware of what's going on. But I believe that before she became drunk, she willfully did these things. When I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, "Why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns." Okay, so we get to get an explanation. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to this destruction. So once was, now is not. So maybe it's something like that. To me, that means that this beast had the 7 heads and 10 horns. Was a not political, but powerful figures, power people, or world powers possibly, or something like that to that effect. They were powerful kingdoms that were once around and now not. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and will come up out of the abyss. So the abyss, it sounds like death. What is it called over here? Perdition. How was it, New King James? Out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. Go to destruction in New NIV. The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. So these people that are not written in the Bible, so these, again, it's pointing to the people that have not been saved. They're going to see this beast and be amazed and say, wait a minute, I thought that was gone, I thought that was dead. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits. There are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, and the other has not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. So the beast he's writing itself is actually a king itself. It's getting a little complicated to me, but that's okay. So 5 of those have fallen. So 5 of the kings have already died, or kingdoms have gone away. Says the 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast. They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. So these 10 kings are not given a kingdom yet. So they could be more like princes, technically, or kings that have just not taken the throne yet. I think David had a time where he was king, but he didn't take the throne just yet. I think it might have been a period of like 7 years. I can't remember, and then he was just anointed as king, but he didn't take the throne yet. So maybe these are the same kind of situation. They were supposed to be kings, but they had not yet taken the position. They will wage war against the Lamb. Verse 14. Oh, and then again, verse 13. Their sole purpose is to give their power to the beast. So they're going to be king for an hour. Okay, that's cool. I'm king. That's awesome. And then one of the first things they're going to do is give up their power, give up their authority to the beast. And that's crazy. Verse 14, they will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. So they're going to try and overthrow Jesus, but they're not going to win, not at all. But they're going to fight anyway. Then the angel said to me, the waters you saw where the prostitute sits are peoples, multitudes, nations, and languages. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So this makes me think it's figurative, but it could be literal, because there's a person. How do you eat the flesh of a nation or an idea? I don't know. It's so this must have been some. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's the future. God is trying to tell us, or God is telling us, but I don't think we can fully understand it. That's just it. There's a way. For God has put into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to hand over the beast their royal authority until God's words are fulfilled. When you saw in the great city that rules over the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. So the woman is Babylon. So kings, that makes sense. The woman is Babylon, so it is a figurative kind of thing. So these kings commit adultery with her by taking women from. I don't understand how that works. I don't have the understanding of what that really means, but God's written it for us. This is his word, and somebody understands it. Somebody understands it at least enough to have a whole, theology based on it. That's called eschatology. Is the science of the end times, right? So the people that study this, study the original Greek, Greek this was probably written in, or whatever language is really written in, to get the full context and understanding, and also understanding that the times that John is writing this in, his perspective, knowing that he would have a limited understanding of how to describe certain things. Like, again, I really think Ezekiel could have seen helicopters, could have alien ships. He could have seen those wheels within wheels, like gyroscopes. Like I don't know what he saw, but he tried to describe it, and it doesn't make sense to most people. I mean, it doesn't. It's hard to picture what he's described because there's only so many things only so many ways you can describe something, and he either didn't have the words for it, or again God kept it from him because he could have told us exactly what it was. Oh, it's a helicopter, but I think again to put those specific words into the Bible back then, I think it would have messed up people. They wouldn't understand, or it would just lead to some craziness. So, like I was saying, I don't understand all of it, but God does. God understands. God has a purpose for it, and I'm okay with that. But this is, if anything, this is a warning. This is what's going to happen. So if for some reason we are here, but there's going to be some people that are going to be there, obviously. So this is a warning for them, so they can. Hopefully by this time they'll still have Bibles, access to Bibles. They can be like, okay, let's read what it says. What's going to happen next? And I don't know if this all happens over the course of a few days, a few hours, or is it years that this is taking place? But here's God's warning for us. This is what we need to understand and know, that God does have a plan, and it's not going to be stopped. Just like I said, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, there's going to have opposition. People are going to try and fight him. He's going to win. He has his followers. He has this chosen. He has his people. So that's it for this chapter for now. Tomorrow, God willing, we'll be in Revelation 18. And we'll see what happens next. We've got 22 chapters, I believe, in Revelation. So we're almost done. All right, we'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye now.